A wash and go on my hair? I used to think my hair could never. Well, I was wrong.
Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Latoya Ebony. I do type 4 natural hair care videos. And today's video is an expose on a year-long of wash and goes on my 4C hair. So let's get into it. We have Zoe in the building. She's a little lopsided, you know, kind of like a hangover from a wild night. Now, if you have type 4 hair, you're really gonna love this video. This is only part 1 of a 2-part little mini series, little 2-part expose. Part 2 is going to be the do's and don'ts of a wash and go. But today, I want you to sit back, relax, because I expect this video to be a little longer than usual as I go through all of the wonderful things that I've learned through doing a wash and go for this past year. Now, the first wash and go I ever did was pure comedy. It was called, I tried to wash and go on my 4C hair for 7 days. And yeah, you see how my voice just cracked? Yeah, that's how my hair looked, just cracked. I went through the very first part of that video was me doing like a real life wash and go, leaving conditioner, you know, on damp hair, some oil. I thought it was looking real cute. And that's how I wore it that day. To me, that is a true wash and go. The next day, I dealt with the dryness of the lack of product that I put on my hair. So that taught me a big lesson, and that is that I needed to use more moisturizer, more product on my hair than I actually had. This was also the video that I learned the glory of using a gel. A high hold gel. My very first gel I ever used was Eco Styler gel. We here with that Eco Styler gel, you know, because it knows me, it gets Zoe. That was when I sat down and it was like piece by piece doing a YouTube wash and go, trying to get the perfect little coils on each and every section. It took forever, and also it took forever to dry.
It takes so long to dry. So long.
I think I use like a third of my tub of gel. Like I use a lot of product. Thanks to y'all in the comments always giving me suggestions. I also learned the wonders of actual co-washing, using conditioner to wash my hair instead of shampoo. Now the second video, right? The second video was where we really started having fun. It was the first time I really took subscribers' suggestions, and in the comments people were like, you should try the maximum hydration method. So I found the original hydration method, which is supposed to infuse your hair with so much moisture that your curl pattern or your coil pattern is going to come out.
The cherry LOLA caramel treatment. So what are some of the ingredients? 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 3/4 tablespoons of an avocado, 2 tablespoons of raw liquid aminos, 1 egg, 2 cups of Greek yogurt, a half a spoon of raw honey, a half a tablespoon of molasses, unsulfured, 2 tablespoons of baking soda, and half of a banana or plantain.
And this was also the first time that I used food on my hair, and it was just such a messy experience.
I'm gonna use all of this. Here I am, looking like a character from The Ring.
And it was also the first time that I really paid attention to pH balance of products. Apple cider vinegar will close the cuticle of the hair, locking in moisture, whereas baking soda opens up the cuticle and allows more moisture in. So depending on your porosity, you may want to adjust some of the measurements. And also you shouldn't go ham, especially with the baking soda. It can be very, very, very damaging to your hair. But this is also the video I just discovered the art of just doing too damn much.
My hands and body are a mess.
My tub is a mess. That looks like throw up.
It was too much, too many steps. And I know that there's a truncated version of the maximum hydration method, but I wanted to go with the OGs, and it was just too much. So I haven't tried that since. My next video is called Shrinkage, No Problem, 3 Beautiful Hairstyles to Do on Your 4C Shrinkage. This was probably one of my favorite videos in the series of videos, mainly because it showed me how far I've come in loving the natural texture of my hair in its natural state.
Especially if you're new on your journey, sometimes it is difficult to accept your hair the way that it looks while it's shrunken. Especially when 4C hair isn't represented much in the media or by brands unless it is stretched, long, or able to achieve the magical wash and go. Oh, did I just throw shade? Sorry.
All of the hairstyles are done with just a moisturizer, some leave-in, some water and oil. This is when I really discovered my evolution in my hair care journey, because one of the reasons I texturized 5 years ago was because I didn't fully accept my hair in its natural state, and I thought that I had to do all of these things to my hair every wash day in order to get it looking presentable, and it was taking up too much of my life. And this is when I really discovered just that transformation. So it's one of my favorite videos, and they're really great hairstyles, and they're good hairstyles if you have short hair as well. My next video was called The Easiest 4C Wash and Go I've Tried. And this is where things began to shift for me, because this was the first time I tried what I knew of the Anthony Dickey Wash and Go method. This is when I discovered the wonderful benefits of really using conditioner, a lot of conditioner, to relax the hair, to elongate my coils.
Anthony believes in using a lot of product. The product isn't proportionate to the amount of hair. And I have a decent amount of hair, so I'm gonna use a decent amount of product.
I learned the importance of water and the frequency of the wash and go. This is where I learned this in my research of Anthony Dickey and his method, specifically for type 4 hair. I also got my favorite part of the wash and go, and that's just like shaking the hair. You know, just shaking my hair.
Oh, I literally just smacked myself in the face, Lord.
I really love that part, and the first time I tried it, I felt like I was gonna faint. But you know, since then, we've leveled up. We have perfected the head shaking. And I know some of y'all are scared of it, talking about breaking y'all necks. It ain't for everybody, but it's really my favorite part. Now, you probably think that with all of the success that I got in the last video, that I could do no wrong. Well, I was wrong. I was already kind of in a groove of what I knew worked, but I wanted even more. This is when I started getting greedy, y'all. So I was going through the little comments, and people were saying like, hey, when you put on your product at the very end, swish your head underneath the water to get your hair extra drenched, and then shake your head and then go. And so I was like, oh, I can get more hydration. Okay. And so I followed that. I did my last layer of the product. I swished my hair under the shower. I did my little shaky shake, and I basically shaked all of the product out of my hair. That was evident in day 2 when my hair was dry as hell.
You know, it's not about the way it looked. It's about the effort that went into a style that looked like literally, it was a pendulum swing all the way on the other side.
If that was my intention, I wouldn't have did all that work. This was also where I taught you guys the importance of making sure that when you're doing your wash and go, you're really getting that shed hair out.
Got a piece of shed hair attached to the end of good hair. This is why it's important to kind of try and get those shed hairs out as much as you possibly can, because they will knot around your hair.
I do mainly finger detangling. You could use a brush for this as well, but I think that for me, fingers, I can really just feel my hair and feel the tangles and not tug too hard. So really, it's going to be so important for you guys to really get that shed hair out in between these wash and goes. How to detangle dry and dusty 4C hair. I know, the title is extra AF. Yes, the title is extra. But let me tell you, okay, I'm the type of friend that will tell somebody if they a little ashy and put some lotion on. You know, you gotta put some moisturizer on your hair. Like, that's why me and Zoe, we tight. You know, I could tell her when she's looking a little dusty. You know what I'm saying? If you are doing kind of this wash and go method, I really wanted to make sure that I gave you guys some advice on how to properly detangle your hair using your fingers. You can also use a brush as well, but using your fingers to really get those tangles out. Those of you who like to go long lengths of time in between doing the wash and goes, I know the title was extra, but it's a very helpful video if you have issues detangling your hair in general. How to get the perfect wash and go on type 4 hair. Now, this is where I get some professional advice from someone who really knows what they're talking about.
Hey everyone, I am here with the illustrious Anthony Dickey, the king of the wash and go.
So in that video, he really walked me through all of the steps that I should be taking on this wash and go. He really taught me the importance of the frequency of the wash and go, of doing it more often for type 4 hair.
If you have identified yourself within the texture spectrum as a 4, the only reason to have identified yourself and called your texture a 4 is because it will help to determine what wash and go styling means to your hair texture versus someone else. So if you're a 3, well, guess what? That's a different texture than a 4. Yeah. And the 3s can get a few more days out of a wash and go style than a 4.
And also, you know, don't be afraid of water. We can't be afraid of the water, all right? Wash and goes really thrive off of water. And for so long, especially when you're dealing with black hair care, water has been kind of like, get away from me, you're gonna mess up my hair. Well, wash and goes really love water. It's kind of the easier version of like the maximum hydration method, literally because you're just applying water to your hair every single day. But then we had to deal with how to dry this low porosity hair. And so I went out, I bought a diffuser, and I tried it on my hair for the first time. And, you know, I did it the way that I saw a lot of Caucasian people doing their hair, or people who really want a lot of volume. And that is scrunching my hair up. For real? For real. I need somebody to get their car. That's when I learned how not to use the diffuser. If you want that volume, scrunch up. If you don't need it like me, you can just put it on there. You can just place it on there, let it dry. It's gonna take you about 30 minutes, but it's better than like 3 days. So then I said, all right, I like this diffuser, but I really wanna see more of my length, right? Like, how do I get more length? And so I did the banding method, and the banding method, literally, it became my favorite way to do my wash and goes. I get the beauty of the wash and go. I get to enjoy, you know, more of that textured hair that I love, even though it got a pound of product on it, but we're not gonna talk about that, right? And I also get to enjoy the length of my hair by doing this banding method.
So this is it. This is what it looks like on day 2. I personally prefer day 1 hair.
It just hits me here. You know, like, wait, where's my heart? Here. It just hits me here. And I love it. Well, you can't have an up without a down. If it's up, then no, don't. This video was entitled The Truth About the Daily Wash and Go. And this is when I said, oh no, we can't do this every day as a mom, a working mom, daily. Like, I mean, I see the benefit, but I'm cooking for my family, trying to still dry my hair dripping everywhere. My son needs his diaper changed. I'm trying to be inside the bathroom doing all this extra, like, it was just
2 years old, yeah.
Yeah. It was just honestly a hot mess. For me, I felt like, okay, this is unrealistic for me to do this every single day, but maybe like every 3 days I can carve out the time. And then I tried a sea moss gel wash and go, trying to be cute, trying to follow my girl Whitney from Natural 85. She has type 4A hair. At least that's how she defines her hair. I don't be typing people's hair, okay? But she says she has 4A. I'm like, all right, she top 4. We gonna use it. I swapped out her leave-in conditioner, but I pretty much did her DIY, just adding a preservative. And let me just tell you guys, Flake City, you guys. Hubby was like, I need you to go ahead and like put on a hat because it's our anniversary and I don't think you should go out like that. That's when, you know, I was feeling myself and I got embarrassed on the internet, basically. And then that leads us to trying the Jerry Curl gel, the little Luster's Activator Curl and Wave gel, the blue tube, right? So I used that and I learned that it works well, but it's sticky. But if you are the type of person who likes to stretch your wash and goes like for 7-8 days, this was actually an amazing addition to the wash and go. Y'all, it's sticky at first, but then it dries down and you can kind of still feel the softness of your coils. Like if you don't like that super crunchy feel that the gel gives you, try the activator gel underneath the actual gel that you use to kind of lock everything in. At this point, I done been spoiled because I feel like I wasn't as impressed by the visual results, but the feel of my hair, I definitely was impressed by. Definitely go ahead and check that video out. That's the last wash and go video I have done up until this point. And that's the end of my expose. Stay tuned, subscribe, because part 2, where I really go through the do's and the don'ts of everything that I've learned with the wash and go over this past year. That's like 365 speed up for y'all, especially those of you who haven't quite perfected it. You're gonna want to subscribe so that you can see part 2.
Let me give a quick shout out to the Coily crew over on Patreon. We have a ton of fun. If you want to learn how to support this channel, go to patreon.com/Latoya Ebony and become a Coily crew member. I'd love to have you.
If you're interested in my hair journey, I worked really hard on this video, you guys. Go ahead and check it out. It's very personal, very heartfelt. It also makes me a little nervous, but check that video out. And if you want to start at the beginning and actually watch my wash and go progress, the playlist is going to be here, you guys. I love you. I will see you in a couple days with part 2 of this wash and go little mini series. All right. I love y'all. Mwah.